Good evening and welcome to Ville News. I'm Xavier Goodall alongside Payje Davis, here to give you the latest local, state, and national headlines.
Coming up, we have updates on our former vice president's passing and Six Flags America's permanent closing. Stay tuned because Ville News starts now.
Former Vice President Dick Cheney has passed away at the age of 84. Cheney was the 46th Vice President of the United States, serving under former President George W. Bush for 2 terms. He was considered to be the most powerful modern vice president and was well known for being one of the leaders of the War on Terror in response to the 9/11 attack in 2001. Most recently, he backed Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris in the 2024 presidential election and openly criticized her opponent, now President Donald Trump. On Tuesday, former President George W. Bush would go on to commemorate Cheney, saying, quote, "History will remember him as the finest public servant of his generation, a patriot who brought integrity, high intelligence, and seriousness of purpose to every position he held," end quote. In a statement released by his family, Cheney was reported to have passed from cardiac and vascular disease, as well as pneumonia. He is survived by his wife of 61 years, Lynn Cheney, daughters Liz and Mary, and several grandchildren.
On November 2nd, 2025, Six Flags America in Bowie, Maryland closed its doors for good after 50 years of operation. First opening in 1974 as a drive-through safari, the park served as that until Six Flags bought them out in 1999. The park remained Six Flags as for almost the last 3 decades alongside its water park. The park has served the local Maryland community over 100 different slides, rides, shows, and coasters. Many locals are sad to see the amusement park go. Elizabeth Ringus, the president of America Roller Coaster Enthusiasts, said, quote, "It makes it hurt more because these visitors aren't individuals that are traveling across the country. This is their home," end quote. Ringus also has high hopes for the relocation of many rides, such as the Superman Ride of Steel. The closure follows the company's efforts to restructure and relieve some of their debt. This comes following a major merger between Six Flags and other major amusement park chain, Cedar Fair, in July of 2024. Combining the 2 chains brings their total park ownership up to 42 parks before the closure of Six Flags America. They also own other parks such as Dorney Park in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey.
When we get back, updates on the state election results and the Shapiro-Davis administration's investment in Pennsylvania small businesses. Ville News will be right back. Pennsylvanians went to the polls on November 4th to vote in a series of local and state elections, most notably those on the state Supreme Court. Justices Christine Donahue, Kevin Doherty, and David Wicht were retained to serve another 10 years on the court. While the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania is nonpartisan, all 3 justices on the ballot were all elected to their first terms as Democrats in 2015. The election did not feature justices themselves campaigning, instead marked by months of campaigning from various activist groups and corporate donors due to the liberal records of all 3 justices. These included groups such as the ACLU and Early Vote Action, an organization led by right-wing activist Scott Presler to oppose retention. Pennsylvania Democratic Chairman Eugene DePasquale described the quote as, quote, "the most pivotal judicial retention in our state's history," end quote. Notable controversies from this included stickers that associated opposing retention with Charlie Kirk, misinformation on part of a political action community affiliated with billionaire Jeff Yass, and independent voters being forced to use provisional ballots. In the end, voters were in favor of retention for all 3 justices, with a 61% majority granting them all 10 more years on the state's highest bench. This means the Pennsylvania Supreme Court will retain its 5-2 Democratic majority, which is crucial in the contentious swing state.
The Shapiro-Davis administration is investing more than $21 million to support small businesses across Pennsylvania through 11 new business assistance service centers. These centers will be implemented through the Historically Disadvantaged Business Assistance Program. The purpose of these centers is to provide technical assistance and service in hopes of increasing access to capital, promoting economic enforcement, and boosting the overall amount of historically disadvantaged small businesses throughout Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania CDFI network is one of the most recipients that will be receiving nearly $6 million to create a center that not only supports Lancaster County, but also a wide range of other neighboring counties. This is not a first for the Shapiro-Davis administration supporting small businesses, as the Commonwealth has surpassed $1 billion in contracts with, quote, small businesses, small diverse businesses, and veteran-owned businesses and prizes 2 years in a row, end quote. As of now, Governor Shapiro's 2025 through 2026 budget proposal aims for investments to help advance the economic development strategy in Pennsylvania.
Up next, we'll take a look at the forecast with Ethan Hughes, Millersville University student meteorologist, with the latest news in the sky.
Welcome back, Millersville. My name is Ethan Hughes, student meteorologist, here to give you the latest in Millersville, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeastern weather. Now, if we take a look here in the Mid-Atlantic region, you can see we have nice, clear, and calm conditions. We do have that storm system that made its way through the northeast going off into Canada, bringing us some windier conditions behind the storm with some possible snow squalls and some possible snow flurries as we make it through tomorrow and Wednesday. And if we take a look across most of the country here, you can see pretty much clear conditions. We have no action going on across the west or the Pacific Northwest at all, with clear and sunny conditions and mostly mild conditions. And we take a look here at the current sky cam footage. You can see that it is mainly cloudy today. Clouds have entered the region behind the cold front, and we'll be seeing a lot of cool temperatures coming in tonight as we start to clear out. And we take a look here at the daily climatology. You can see today we recorded a high of 44 degrees and a low of 32 degrees, which is very much below the normal high and normal low for this time of the year. And we recorded 0 precipitation today, and today was mostly cloudy with some hit or miss clouds. And then if we take a look here into tonight, you can see it'll be mostly clear with lows in the mid to upper 20s and low 30s. We could see a hard freeze tonight, so make sure you have your big winter coats when you go to class tomorrow. And if we take a look in tomorrow, we can see mostly cloudy conditions with possible snow showers or snow squalls, and it'll be also windy with highs in the mid to upper 30s and low 40s. And then if we take a look into Wednesday here, you can see it'll be mostly sunny and windy with highs in the low to mid 50s. And then if we take a look here into tonight, you can see that we can have low temperatures in the mid to upper 30s across most of the Mid-Atlantic and into the Northeast. And then if we take a look into Tuesday, we can see that we'll have highs here only breaking the 40-degree mark. We might even be below that as well, especially in parts of the interior Northeast into the New England region. And then if we take a look into Tuesday, you can see that that Arctic spill is going to make its way all the way down south here, as we can see temperatures in the low to mid 20s all the way from the Canadian and U.S. border all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. And if you take a look into Wednesday, we'll see our temperatures bounce back into the mid to upper 40s and low 50s into Wednesday. And then if we take a look into Wednesday night, you can see that temperatures will be in the low to mid 30s, and we'll start to also see bounce back temperatures in the south into the upper 40s as well. And then we take a look into Thursday, our temperatures will be in the mid to upper 50s, bringing back a warming trend before a cold front comes in later this week. And if we take a look here into Tuesday, you can see this low pressure is going to build off the coast of the Carolinas and Virginia as it will make its way up to the north, which then the wind gradient behind it will strengthen, bringing us some possible snow showers and some flurries. As we make it our way into Wednesday here, you can see that the storm system is going to make its way all the way up into Canada towards Greenland. And again, we'll see that strong pressure gradient of wind possibly giving us snow squall chances and snow flurries as well. And then a high pressure will begin to build across the south, which will make its way into the Mid-Atlantic region. And if we take a look here into Thursday, again, that high pressure is going to center itself across the south. And we also have a high pressure here across the west, bringing clear conditions across most of the United States into Thursday. Then we take a look into Friday. Again, that high pressure is going to build itself across the Ohio Valley and into the Mid-Atlantic. However, we do have our next big storm system forming off here into the Pacific Northwest, which will bring us some possible showers and some snow coming into later in the weekend into next week. And then if we take a look here at the 7-day, you can see that pretty much it's going to be highs in the mid to upper 40s on Tuesday. You'll see going into Wednesday, we'll bounce back into the 50s, and we'll have mostly sunny conditions coming into Thursday and parts of the later the weekend. But then our temperatures are going to dip back down into the 40s coming into the weekend. And then if we take a look into the next week, we'll see temperatures in the upper 40s as well. And we have a special thanks here to the Weather Center, Information Center, for providing us insight for our forecast. Thank you, and back to you.
Thanks, Ethan. After our break, we'll have updates on a Franklin and Marshall announcement and a community college faculty strike. Phil News will be right back. Franklin and Marshall College announced changes to its tuition rate for households earning up to $150,000. annually and share this information with students applying to the school. The current tuition rate for the private college during the 2025-2026 school year was $72,950. This initiative was the college's newly launched Commonwealth commitment. This initiative states that students with an annual household income $75,000 or less will receive free tuition, while those with an annual household income of $75,000 to $150,000 will be charged a tuition rate equal to Penn State University's in-state tuition, which was $20,468 for freshmen and sophomore students during the 25-26 school year. F&M families earning above $150,000 will receive financial aid packages based on each household's financial need. F&M Vice President for Enrollment Management, Leslie Davidson, said in an email statement Monday, quote, "While many of our students end up paying less to attend F&M than they would at a public university, they don't learn this until after admission. Our Commonwealth commitment makes that value clear from the start, showing families that F&M is an affordable option and an exceptional investment," end quote. Students' financial aid availability will be reevaluated each year and could change if the student's family financial situation changes.
Faculty at Harrisburg Area Community College have gone on strike after contract negotiations stalled and no salary raises were seen by the members since they unionized in 2022. The strike began last week with talks going for 13 hours, but no agreement was made. Many instructors began the strike, leaving students without educators and leaving students clueless about the state of their classes. The HACC Educators Association said that the college has failed to provide fair compensation. A UniServe representative at HACCEA, Adam Weber, told reporters, quote, "We are asking for no more and no less than what the Board of Trustees has already approved," end quote. In an email sent out by the school, the university informed students that substitute teachers would be available for the classes, but many classrooms would likely be empty in spite of this. Many students have vocalized their support in favor of the educators.
That's all we have for this week for Ville News. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in next week for the latest local, state, and national headlines.